Hello and welcome. For many, many years now, people have looked for a modern day example of how these teachings work. And I always make up some stories and do different things, but at the weekend, I saw a film, and the film was called When Harvey Met Bob, and it was about Live Aid. And it totally encapsulates every single thing of the teachings in the Science of Getting Rich. It's unbelievable because Bob Geldof had a vision, and what his vision was absolutely impossible. And so if he had started working out the whys and hows of doing this and putting it together, it was impossible. So he just had this vision and he started putting it together. But what happened was that he bumped into Harvey Goldsmith, who was the biggest promoter of the time, and started talking to him about it. And Harvey said, "It's impossible. There is no way you can do what you're trying to do." And he said, "Who have you actually got signed up?" And Bob Geldof said, "Well, I've got so-and-so, Sting, The Clash, Adamant, Paul McCartney, Rolling Stones." He read all these names off. And Harvey Goldsmith said, "Well, have you got contracts with him?" He said, "Oh no, it's all being done without contracts." He said, "Well, that's impossible. You're never going to get things sorted out." So Bob Geldof has got this vision, this impossible vision, and he is not worried about how he makes it happen, which is exactly what the teaching says. Look, set your vision and don't worry about that. So if he knew anything about putting on a concert, he would have known at that point in time what he was asking was impossible. He wanted to do 14 hours of live coverage TV in America and England. So it was one concert in two places. It was absolutely unbelievable what he achieved and what his vision was. But the point I'm trying to make is that if he had looked at what he wanted to achieve and started analysing it, Live Aid would have never happened. So that shows you the power of the vision. And if you've got the passion and the energy, it just shows you what you can achieve. So this is a real live, living example of how powerful your mindset can be. Nothing was going to burn Bob Geldof out. All the people telling him it can't be done, he didn't care. And also, within this, we're told to live the vision. Live as though it's actually happened, and there's no doubt about it happening. So he started telling people that Paul McCartney was going to be playing there. Well, Paul McCartney hadn't agreed to do it, and early on he hadn't even contacted Paul McCartney. Just in his head he saw all these people coming. So he did really tell little white lies when he went to the TV companies. He told them that he had got people's commitment and everything. So it was a little white lie, but the same thing, he was actually living his vision. So he was explaining his vision to everybody. So it wasn't really a lie, and at the end of the day, it far exceeded everybody's expectations. So, you know, we've got to allow that. So what is happening is you've got a great example of how you can achieve the impossible, providing that you've got the passion to do it. And through all the things that went wrong, that could have possibly gone wrong through this, Bob Geldof's mind didn't falter. So there's an example. If you're ever thinking about, you know, setting a vision or saying that can't happen or this can't happen, what happened that day was absolutely impossible. If you'd have selected all the top television executives, the top promoters and anyone involved in the entertainment industry in one room and said, we're going to do Live Aid, and had a vote, it wouldn't have happened. All that happened was one man had a vision and a passion to make it work, and it worked. And you can do the same with exactly the same vision and intensity about achieving what you want to achieve. So if anyone ever says to you that it's impossible, give me an example of how you can actually set a goal, an impossible goal, and achieve it. Just think of Bob Geldof and Live Aid. Hope that helps. Thanks very much indeed.